to the list that we've got. So everybody else that we had from last week is available. So unless something changes today.
Thank you. So obviously you've had a week now to reflect on last week's defeat. So how do you sort of reflect on what happened, but also any positives you can take from that game heading into this weekend's match?
Yeah, I probably don't look at it as though it was last week's defeat. I look at it as a great block of 8 games that we got some really good points from, and ultimately some good performances enabled us to get those points. So I was pleased with that. I was pleased with the lads and the staff of how they've been over that period of time. So we just now the things that we worked on this week, and hopefully that comes out in the game.
In that block of 8 games, it's obviously some fantastic runs and results in that, and it goes to show, doesn't it? I suppose, you know, I know we're in the sort of business end of the season, as a lot of managers would call it now. You know, a couple more wins, you're right back in the automatic places or near them anyway. It's that close. I think it's 3 points between where you are at the moment and the automatic places. So it just shows that, you know, how, if you like, how much, you know, how exciting this league can be, but also how, you know, just a bit of good form can take you right into the mix for automatic promotion and where the club wants to be.
Yeah, I just look at it now. We focus on Bradford, and I know that we want to talk about promotion and we want to talk automatic positions, but I'm not. I'm just focused on what we've got to do to get a good performance in against Bradford, so hopefully get a positive result for us. So I can only look at the next game, and I think as a group and the players and staff and the football club, we can only look at the next game, and we have to focus on that and keep moving forward that way.
And talking of the next game, what kind of challenge are you expecting up there?
I think it'll be a tough game, in the sense of that they're a strong team and with an excellent manager who's got an amazing track record. So all we've got to try and do, like we always do, is focus on ourselves and try and work areas of the pitch that we feel as though we can find spaces to try and create ourselves some opportunities to get shots at goal.
You mentioned the excellent manager there with the track record that he's got. I mean, what were your thoughts when you heard earlier this year that Mark Hughes had taken a job in League Two? Because obviously I know it's a very competitive league, some very good teams in the league, but, you know, what were your thoughts on when he got the job? And I suppose it's a great advert for the league, isn't it? That someone who's managed his country, you know, managed at the highest level in the Premier League is managing a club in League Two.
That's amazing. It's amazing. And I think it just shows where the league's at and what competition's like at the minute to work in the game. And it just shows how good he is and that he backs himself. And I just think he's an amazing manager from what I've seen over the years. And in what he is, I'm really looking forward to meeting him tomorrow.
And obviously, as a young manager yourself, is he the kind of manager that you sort of, if you like, looked up to when you were, you know, going through your coaching badges, looking to getting into management because of what he achieved not just obviously as a player, but then obviously what he achieved for his, you know, as Wales manager, but then obviously in the Premier League with so many clubs as well. Yeah,
it's kind of, you take things off lots of different managers along the way, and especially the kind of Welsh managers that you look at from being from Wales. Your Tony Pulis, your Mark Hughes, at the time your John Toshak's, Gary Speeds, Chris Coleman's, etc., etc. You look at them because of what they've done in the game, and being Welsh, it always they give you that kind of role model. But I tend to take bits off everybody really that I've either met along the way, worked with, or observed from a distance from.
Thank you. All the best tomorrow, mate.
Thank you very much.
Morning, James.
Hello, Chris. You all right?
Yeah, all good, all good. Prepared.
Are you making it tomorrow? Are you making it tomorrow?
I am. I might see you in Kiel Services. You never know.
We're going today, so probably not.
Yeah, well, I am. I've managed to. They've opened the purse strings, so there we are. It's too far. But no. Ollie's injury was that. Well, what is it?
It's around his groin area, so it's ultimately it boils down to a load issue, which we'll manage over a period of time, and we've done it in conjunction with Swansea, so they're more than happy with what we've done with Ollie. It's just kind of, it's the most amount of games he's played in a period of time, and ultimately at some point it might catch up. Ollie will be back. He'll be back for us, but it's kind of, it's just one of those things, and we've got other players who can step up to the plate to help the team, because it's ultimately a squad game and a collective.
And back next week, hopefully, or longer.
Yeah, I think it'll be a bit longer than that. I think it'll be a little bit longer than that. I think it's probably 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay. Is it something that you not saw coming because you wouldn't have played him last week, but you know, his load has been an issue, hasn't it? Given the
Well,
games.
An issue, yeah, maybe. Well, it's just one of those things. We managed him as best we could over a period of time, and I only envisioned playing 45 to 60 minutes on Friday night as well, because I was conscious that James had played a lot of games as well, and it was always the plan to bring James on for Ollie. So that was always part of the plan, what we were looking to do.
How's Jake's ribs?
Yeah, he's close to returning. He's not going to be available for Saturday. We're hoping he'll be available for next week.
Okay. So of those brigades, there's nobody back, as it were. From no. Okay. Pascan, Courtney, are they still getting closer as well?
Yeah, Courtney, I'm hoping to have available for Exeter, and then Josh the following week, which I believe is Swindon. So yeah.
You mentioned that past 8 game block, and I guess it's the start of a new 8 game block, isn't it? I know it's next game mentality.
Yeah, and it's that next game mentality, and it's also, to flip it on its head, it's like an 8 game season now, where I'm not going to use the cliches that I keep hearing about. It's 8 cup finals, and it's just the results that matter. I genuinely believe, like we have done over this period, if we keep getting our performances right, the results will follow. And I think that's a focus. We're all winners naturally, and we all want to win. But the thing in it all is that we want to win, but we want to do it in the way that we're doing it. And I think that's important.
Do you think, I think it was 15 points from that past 8 games. Do you think that would put you, do you think that might be enough if you repeated what you've just done?
I don't know. It's so tight. I think it'll be different tallies this year to get to what you normally get to. We've got our own internal targets that we're aiming towards, which I'm not going to tell you, Chris. So I'm going to keep that to ourselves. And no trying to get that out of Robbie. So we'll keep working towards what we believe we'll need. But it is what we got to do against Bradford on Saturday.
Those away games, sometimes they're the ones that can, getting points on the road to go with, hopefully at home, they can be big wins, can't they?
Yeah, of course. And we did it with Stevenage and Carlisle, didn't we, with those important results that we had. So we just got to try and play our game. We've got to play our game and do what we can do. And teams have come up against us as late. Stevenage went man for man in midfield with us. Hartlepool did it, but with a back 3. And we've got to come up with solutions around that to be able to find spaces on the pitch that we can get our number 10s, if you like, on the ball to try and penetrate that back line to create our goal scoring opportunities that we tend to do.
Hartlepool, they just cut off. I know there was probably an element of a lot of games in a short space of time, but there weren't the options. They did a really good job, didn't they?
Yeah, when I watch it back, when I watched the game back, I left it till Monday to watch it back, so I wanted a bit of time to kind of just reflect a little bit without watching the game. And when I watched it back, the game was a lot better than what I thought it was. When you can see 3 goals, it tends to cloud over what you've done. And the way that we moved the ball, the way that we shifted the ball, we scored 2 goals again. We didn't get as many shots as what we normally do. I think we had 9 shots at goal, which was probably down to the fact we didn't commit enough into the box when we got in the crossing opportunities. So when I look at when we deliver balls in the box, we normally have 3-4 players attacking the box. This time we only had 2 or 3. And I think that's where we've got to look at things. And we worked on this week about trying to get more bodies in the box, commit, be brave. And I wasn't going to use the tiredness and the trip as an excuse, but there's a reason why they didn't break the box, is what they normally do.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned him there, Robbie. Is how important is he to what you're doing?
Yeah, he's on and off the pitch. What he does, he's been here for. I read one of your articles, Chris. I say that I don't read them, but I do sometimes. But it was his 9th season, coming into his 9th season at a football club, be it on and off over different periods or whatever. But he's kind of been converted into this deep line number 4 midfield player, which he's comfortable in playing. And also he can play higher up in one of our number 10s positions as well for me, because his delivery into the box. And just what he knows what it means for this football club to be successful. He's been in it for a long time. He's seen the good, the bad, and the indifferent. So I was keen to ensure Robbie was part of our setup for next year, and he's agreed to it too. So I'm delighted, and we can move forward with the rest of the 11 players that we got already signed for next year, which already got contracts.
To be able to change from a winger to a central midfielder, it's not easy, and he's
a good footballer. He's a good footballer, and I think when you're a good footballer, you can play, especially from the midfield line to the front line. He can play in those positions. I got no problem playing Robbie at fullback either. You know, if we needed to, if we're chasing the game, to be able to provide crossing opportunities, which we did against Oldham when we were chasing the game, and we've done it against Mansfield when we're chasing the game. We put him to not Oldham, Mansfield, those positions where he can play a little bit deeper and provide crossing opportunities in the box for us.
Reminds me, how's James Clark? Is he?
Yeah, what happened was he got through it all, and then half time he spasmed up again. Okay. So that's something that he's got through this week. And so what touch wood, he comes through today, okay. And it's just one of those things with back injuries. It's off the back of the travel. But he's another warrior, very similar to Scott Bennett. If James Clark's got to come off, you know he's got a problem. Yeah,
that's it. And finally, I'll just finish on Bradford. Really, are there any notable differences under Mark Hughes from I think it's 5 games?
Yeah, you look at they play 4-3-3 with Deep Liar, which we've got to be able to get pressure on the ball early to stop him playing. But obviously they got Cook up front, who's a threat. We're gonna have to deal with. We're gonna have to deal with balls into him with their progressive nature. They've got ability to do both sides of the game. So we just got to kind of nullify what they can do and focus on us on what we can do. We're trying to create as many goal scoring opportunities for us and deny as many as what they can, which sounds really simple, but that's what we have got to do.
All good. Well, if you spot any errors in my articles, let me know, and I'll
I'm sure you'll spot any errors in my team selection.
There we are.
Tactics.
Good stuff. Cheers. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Chris. See you tomorrow.
Hi, James. How are you?
Hi, Andrew.
Chris has probably asked most of my questions, as I'd expect, but I'll chip in a few. 8 days without a game, has that been a bit of a luxury for you now? Yeah,
it's been great. We give the lads 3 days off after their period, so they can spend time with their family and recover. Then we train really well this week. We're gonna train today now, so the focus has been really good. We've had a really good week again, and I felt like that really for the last 3-4 weeks. There's a real good feel and atmosphere around the place, and we just got to keep building on that, really.
Yeah, as good as the atmosphere is, it's important to switch off from time to time, I guess, and take a little break when you can.
I can't do that. I can't do that. I find it hard. And I looked at it yesterday. I mean, I think it's like 27 games I've had and 2 of them are cup games, I think, or something like that. And it's the best job in the world, but I can't switch off from it. I'm constantly thinking of different things, of team selection, of speaking to certain players, trying to get the best out of people, trying to work with my staff to try and make us as best we possibly can. So I'm sure the lads would have switched off, and I hope they did. And they looked as though they did when they came in this week.
Yeah, good stuff. There was a bit of stick for Matthew Dolan after the last game. Has that affected him? He's such an infectious character anyway, isn't he? He bounced back quickly from that.
I said it after my press. What people don't see what Matty Dolan done for this football club. He got Player of the Year last year. He's my captain. He's our captain. He's our leader. And I'm not going to pay focus to put on what was said, what wasn't said. All I'll speak on positive terms with Matty is that he's been excellent for me since he's come in, and that will continue as long as I'm here.
I didn't quite catch this. Is Nick Townsend back?
Nick's available. Nick's available. Yeah, Nick's available. Yeah.
A bit of a tricky decision there.
That's part and parcel of the job and the game that we're in. So it's great when you've got 2 excellent keepers that you can choose from.
Good stuff. That'll do me. Thank you, James. Good luck.
Thank you, everybody.